Cystic Fibrosis workout warriors inspire others living with CF to incorporate fitness into their care routines and represent everything the Team Boomer program stands for.
Hi, my name is Erinn and I have cystic fibrosis. Since I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at birth, it was something that I always knew that I had. Growing up, I knew that I was different from other kids because I had to do nebulizer treatments and I had to take pills when I ate. My parents were great when it came to handling my cystic fibrosis and handling me as a young kid. They originally put me in swimming because they heard that it was great for the lungs. But the reason I personally stayed swimming was because I was good at it and I loved it. I loved the competition, I loved the sport. Swimming became my passion at a very young age. I remember my first award ceremony when I was 6 and beating the 8-year-olds, and I just remember really loving that feeling and wanting to continue on. I swam all through high school. I went to San Diego State, and I was very lucky growing up. The first time I was actually hospitalized with cystic fibrosis was when I was 17. Ironically, I had quit swimming about 3 or 4 months prior. I was completely burned out at that point, and I just wanted to enjoy my senior year. So I decided to take some time off, and I ended up a couple months later in the hospital with pneumonia. It was my first time being hospitalized. It was the first time I was introduced to the vest treatment. And that really changed the course of my college career. There were 2 times in my life when I was told that I was going to need a double lung transplant. The first time was when I was 21. It was my senior year of college. One night when I was in the hospital, I stood up to go to the bathroom and I passed out. The next thing I knew, I was being rushed to the ICU. There was somebody on top of me putting a mask on me. I ended up being intubated. Then I turned 25. I was just making a sandwich and I just remember thinking, these lungs are done. They don't want to be here any longer. Like, you're gonna need a transplant. 2 weeks later, I am not feeling well. I take my O2 level. It's in the 70s, which is so dangerous. I called my boyfriend, we go to the hospital. It was like 11 a.m. I remember him waking me up and I was so out of it. And he said, you're gonna need a transplant. And I just looked at him and said, I know, I know, I have known. So after the transplant, I got better, I got stronger. I went to physical therapy. I remember it was, I think after my second to last race, in Spain, I had gotten out. I had just won a silver medal, and I just remember being by myself on the deck, like in a moment of just complete like solace with myself, and just, you know, congratulating myself on how far I had come. It was only a year and a half out of me having my transplant that I competed in Spain. Yeah, it's the transplant games and it's the Transplant Olympics. But, you know, I did it.
Also like to welcome a couple of our workout warriors, Erinn.
I love the Boomer Esiason Foundation. I think that what they stand for is amazing. I love that they are telling kids to get out there, pursue sports. Best advice that I can give to somebody with cystic fibrosis is to not make it your identity. You are so much more than that, and you will realize that once you kind of get out of your shell. Because it's such a big world out there, and everybody has so much to offer and so much to explore that do not make it your identity. Find a passion, find a hobby, excel in that, and you will find so much happiness.
This video series was made possible by support from DCU.